Hello everyone, back again with film summaries. Today I'll recap The Pursuit of Happyness. Chris Gardner is a smart man, but life hasn't been kind to him lately. He lives in San Francisco with his wife Linda and their 5-year-old son Christopher. Chris had invested everything he had in a portable bone density scanners, a product that he thought would revolutionize the medical industry. But the machines are expensive and doctors see them as luxuries. Sales are rare, money is tight, and the bills are piling up. Each morning, Chris walks the city with a heavy scanner slung over his shoulder, going door to door at hospitals, hoping for a miracle sale. But he's running out of luck. One day, Linda tells him that she has had enough. She works double shifts at a laundry and is exhausted, mentally and physically. The constant stress breaks them down, and soon Linda decides to leave him. She moves to New York, leaving Christopher behind. Chris insists on taking full responsibility for his son. Now a single father, Chris continues chasing doctors, late on rent, barely scraping by. One day, while outside a hospital, he notices a man in a sharp suit getting out of a red Ferrari. Curious, he asks the man, "What do you do and how do you do it?" The man smiles and says he's a stockbroker and that all you need is to be good with numbers and people. That moment plants a seed in Chris's mind. He learns that Dean Witter Reynolds, a brokerage firm, offers a competitive internship, but there's no salary. It's unpaid, only one intern will be selected for a full-time job. Chris sees this as his shot at a better life, but the risk is huge. He has no money saved, no safety net, and a child to care for. Despite that, he applies for the internship. Chris gets an interview at Dean Witter, but just before that important day, he's arrested. One night, he paints his apartment walls in exchange for not paying rent for a week. He's still wearing his painting clothes, covered in stains, when he's arrested for unpaid parking tickets. He spends the night in jail and is released the next morning, just few minutes before the interview. Chris rushes across the city in dirty clothes, barely making it. When he walks in, the men interviewing him look at his outfit in disbelief. But Chris is honest. He explains everything. He tells them he was arrested, that he's been struggling, and that he still wants the opportunity. He even makes them laugh with his authenticity. Despite his appearance, they are impressed. Chris gets accepted into the internship program, but it comes with no pay, not a single dollar, and only 1 out of 20 interns will land a job at the end. Still, this is Chris's shot at something real. He decided to go all in. Chris works hard during the internship by day and tries to sell scanners in the evenings or weekends. But his finances collapse. One day, he returns home to find all his belongings thrown out on the street. He and Christopher are evicted. Now homeless, Chris hides it from everyone at the office. Every day, he wears the same clothes, carries the same briefcase, and puts on a smile. But at night, he and his son have nowhere to go. Sometimes they sleep at a train station bathroom. Chris locks the door, hugs his son tightly, and pretends it's all a game. He silently cries as Christopher sleeps in his arms. Other nights, they stand in long lines at homeless shelters, hoping to get a bed before they fill up. Chris leans to juggle work, caring for his son, and surviving. Barely eating, always calculating every second of the day. He makes cold calls faster than anyone else. While other interns take breaks, Chris keeps working. He refuses to give up. One day, Chris is allowed to meet a key investor. It's a make or break opportunity. He gets a chance to pitch himself directly, and he impresses the investor with not just his determination, but also his understanding of people. Meanwhile, Christopher keeps being his anchor. Despite everything, Chris never lets his son feel unloved or unsafe. They laugh together, play together, and even study together. Christopher doesn't fully realize how much they are struggling, but Chris is carrying that entire weight. After weeks of this unbearable grind, Chris finally sells the last bone density scanner that gives him just enough to survive a few more nights and keep his son fed. One day, Chris is called into the office. He sits across from the managers at Dean Witter. They look at him seriously, then one of them smiles and says, "Chris, we'd like to offer you a position." Chris freezes. For a few seconds, he doesn't say a word. He just nods. He shakes their hands, walks out of the office, and once he's alone, tears pour down his face. It's finally happened. After months of homelessness, hunger, and hopelessness, he got the job. He picks up his son from daycare. They walk down the street holding hands. Chris looks up at the sky. In voiceover, he says, "This part of my life, this little part, is called happiness." That's it for today, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.